Island killer in the red. Loik Radzhabov, unfortunately, also wearing red. Leaping kick attempt there by Chris Ueid. Loik Radzhabov catches him and dumps him. Radzhabov on top. Chris Ueid fighting his way back to his feet on a single leg. He'll now transition. A knee lands for Radzhabov, and a big head toss. Head and arm there for Chris Ueid.
You don't see that too often.
There's a classic wrestling technique. And Loik just kind of loaded it up for Chris, and he went with it.
And now Chris Ueid trying to isolate that arm for Loik Radzhabov. Torque on that wrist and force a tap. Radzhabov doing a good job of pulling his elbow back to his body. But Ueid has the left hand of Loik Radzhabov locked up tight. Now Radzhabov steps to the back of Chris Ueid.
Radzhabov is a powerful man. That position that Ueid was in was a dominant position for Chris Ueid.
The risk of the headlock is that sometimes you can give up your back. Chris is probably lucky the fence is right there, so Loik couldn't just climb right into the back position.
And Loik, there we go.
Throws a hook in, and now he tosses his left arm up over the neck and shoulder of Chris Ueid. There's that seatbelt handcuff position.
Far wrist ride. Catch a guy on the ground and you suck that far wrist up there, it could be a very dominant position. We've seen that a couple times this evening.
Ueid is going to be in on a head outside, single position.
Cranking on the neck of Chris Ueid. Loik Radzhabov has his hands locked. Ueid tries to spin out of it. Finds himself underneath Loik Radzhabov on a single leg. And back to standing they go. Side kick there from Chris Ueid. Big winging right hand from Loik Radzhabov. A big knee. Herzog calls the timeout on the low blow. You heard that one thud. Chris Ueid will get up to 5 minutes to go. Back in action here. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in round one. Inside leg kick there from Chris Ueid, the southpaw. Front kick. And one misses for Ueid. Another inside leg kick. Hook from Loik Radzhabov. Right hand lands. Loik Radzhabov getting aggressive in the strikes here. Chris Ueid grabs.
Nice little.
Beautiful lat job with the trip.
And now Loik Radzhabov circles to north-south in a neck crank position here.
That is a big, strong guy to be hanging on your neck.
And he doesn't have the choke, but he can be cranking the neck from this position. And that's why Ueid has that forearm under his chin. That's relieving some of the pressure. By pushing Loik's neck up, Chris Ueid is able to relieve some of that pressure on his own neck.
Wow, interesting strategy there by Loik Radzhabov. Just going to crank on the neck. Not attempting to isolate an arm, force that shoulder choke. Just immediately going after the neck crank in north-south, and now he finds himself in this crucifix position. Raджабов riding Chris Ueid. He's got that leg laced. Raining down some hammer fists from the top. Ueid attempting to grab an outside head. Now head inside single. Raджабov stuffing the head of Chris Ueid so far.
And Ueid's got to get off his heels. You look.
Take a look inside Ueid's corner. See the advice they're giving their fighter. Well, we saw this hyper-aggressive style from Loik Radzhabov in his first regular season bout. Chris Ueid kicks a leg out from under him, but Raджабov recovers his balance. Big knee there from Loik Radzhabov.
And this is the first round. We've got 30 seconds left, and this has been grueling. And both these men fought 10 minutes earlier.
Fight twice, win twice for the right to take on Natan Schulte in New York City. Ueid wings a hook. Once again, forces Loik Radzhabov against the cage. Wade reaching up over here for a guillotine attempt, or at least to hang on the head of Loik Raджhabov. 10 seconds left in round number 1. The first of 3 here in semifinal action. Raджhabov finishes the round, pressing Chris Wade against the cage. Wrestling coach talking about you can't stay on your knees underneath this guy, which is what you were saying, Eve.
Yeah, you want to get your heels away from your butt. You can't stay on your knees, and if your heels are touching your butt, you're on your knees and you're just letting them put their weight on top of you.
Chris Wade is showing some respect for Radzhabov's power.
A right hand punctuates that point. Raджhabov with the body kick there. Just stalking down Chris Wade, walking forward, hands down. Wings a big left hand, now Chris Wade down on the body. Drags Raджhabov to the mat, but a nice whizzer there by Raджhabov. Compromises the positioning of Chris Wade. Fatigue starting to set in here in the second round for both of these guys. A $1 million championship spot on the line against Natan Schultz for the winner. It's fight twice, win twice for both of these men if they want to advance to that championship. Now they're in the 4th round of MMA for each of them tonight. Natan Schultz, the #1 seed, returning champion, and already victorious in his semifinal, watching on. Raджhabov able to spin off the fence here.
Chris Wade needs to straighten out that right hand. I think if he quits looping it, it shows it straight down the middle, it'll land.
Another
headlock again.
Another head and arm there for Chris Wade, and this time he'll use it to step over into the full mount.
Nice work by Chris Wade.
Chris Wade
heard his cornerman tell him, don't just hang on to the headlock, step over.
Raджhabov using the same escape we saw from him against Islam Mammadov. Bench press and ab crunch at the same time. He's able to get back to his feet. Now Chris Wade hanging on the neck, heavy. Raджhabov able to shrug off the pressure. Continuing to walk down Chris Wade. Tries to dump him over his own right leg. Wade's balance prevails in that exchange. The jab starting to land for Chris Wade. His corner was asking for it. Raджhabov still wading in with big punches.
Stay high, Chris. Chris, 2.5 minutes left. Stay high. Hold that butt. Hold that butt, Chris. Hold that butt.
Is it me or has Radzhabov slowed down a little bit this round?
I think the fatigue's starting to set in. He's a very muscular guy. He had a very tough
big head kick.
Quarterfinal fight. Eve, I'm curious about Raджhabov's strategy here because he's walking, he's moving forward, he's crowding up his own punches and going chest to chest with Chris Wade when he gets in close.
Yeah, and that's why Chris Wade is able to wear on him. Raджhabov is carrying around a lot of muscle and a lot of size on his own, so when Chris is leaning on him, he's carrying that extra weight of someone else. He needs to stay at distance, stay at range, because it's obvious that he's the one that wants to land the punches, while Wade is the one that wants to wrestle.
Hook lands on the exit there for Loik Raджhabov. Take a look inside his corner.
Yeah, keep going, go in. Close the distance. Yes, left. Keep your hands up. Protect yourself. Circle. Move.
Chris is
Move from the left.
complaining about something.
Keep your hands up. Hands up. Finish. Go in.
Raджhabov landing a couple in that exchange, but Chris Wade very game and coming right back at the Tajikistan fighter. Wade once again down on a double leg. Raджhabov with a big right hand. His mouthpiece comes out, reaches down himself, puts it right back in, and says, let's go again. Just misses on the knee. Big left hand from Raджhabov. Push kick to the body, answered by Chris Wade. And now they're trading Radzhabov on the back of Chris
That's
Wade.
it.
He's got the rear naked choke in around Chris Wade's neck. Cranking on it. Wade will look to turn his heel.
He lost it.
Nice defense by Chris Wade, but now still underneath Loik Radzhabov.
Back door.
I'd like to see another angle on that.
Hammer fist from the top for Loik Radzhabov. Chris Wade trying to get his opponent down to the mat one more time as round 2 closes out. There's the end of round 2. A grueling semifinal fight.
Hard in that second round.
Tough to score this one. A third and deciding round potentially in this lightweight semifinal. The winner moves on to a New York City Championship bout against Natan Schultz. Fight twice, win twice. Both of these men trying to do that tonight.
And Wade's gonna have to lay it all on the line, because you know if he loses the decision here in a close fight, he's not gonna be happy with that result.
Once again able to grab on to Loik Radzhabov. Radzhabov trying to push the head of Chris Wade down. Wade turns to the back of Loik Radzhabov. Radzhabov shrugs his way out of the takedown attempt. And once again, hands down, walks directly into striking range for Chris Wade. Raджабов trying to trade with Chris Wade here. Closing the distance, smothering the punches. The American fighter pressing his Tajikistan opponent up against the cage.
Sean, this is round 3. You've done this last year. You fought twice in one night. What are these men going through right now?
Well, I wish I could fully sympathize. My second fight, excuse me, ended in the first minute of the first round. So I was able to avoid this process, but obviously there's an accumulation of fatigue. Both of these guys have significant muscle mass. Both of their first bouts had a lot of this grinding wrestling up against the cage and elsewhere. Loik Radzhabov just continuing to walk in. Strategically, I think that maybe there's something left to be desired here, but he's being extremely aggressive, which often goes a long way in the eyes of the judges, Randy.
That is true. The guy that's plodding forward, the guy that's keeping the pressure on, a lot of times will get the nod in a very close and hard to score fight.
Another headlock here for Chris Wade, but Radzhabov able to step around and get on the back.
And that does get harder to hit the later you get into a fight. More sweat, you get a lot more slippery. Sometimes, you know, you get cut.
Now Radzhabov on the back of Chris Wade. Can he stay there as Wade continues to turn? A lot of sweat, slippery. There's Natan Schultz watching. He will face the winner on New Year's Eve in New York City.
Oh, his neck crank. But he doesn't have the forearm in the right position. Chris Wade is going to be able to relieve that pressure. But Radzhabov is a powerful man, so.
Trying to get that short choke. If he can't get it underneath the neck, it'll just be a crank. Left hand's raining down from the top for Loik Radzhabov. 2 minutes left in this semifinal bout.
Good job by Wade getting back to his feet. He was in a really bad spot for a while.
A slip for Chris Wade on that exchange of kicks. Now Loik Radzhabov looking to his corner for the advice. Isolating the leg of Chris Wade on the bottom.
You see some of the fatigue in Chris Wade. He didn't scramble to get back to his feet. He kind of rolled back to his back, accepted that he was on the bottom.
And this is a very, very tough place to finish a takedown from, Randy.
Absolutely. Head outside, stuck on her knees. Tough to turn the corner against a big, strong guy with strong hips from there.
Radzhabov steps out of it, goes right back to work with an uppercut. Closing in on 1 minute remaining here in this lightweight semifinal. Radzhabov able to trip the legs out from under Chris Wade, maybe taking control here late in this fight, Randy.
It appears that way. Chris is running out of both time and gas, it looks like to me.
He's been continually seeking these takedowns. Can you get any offense started even if you get him down on the ground with this much fatigue, this much sweat, and relatively evenly matched wrestling skills? Radzhabov once again searching for some ground and pound here with Chris Wade underneath him.
Raджабov is still a stronger man. You see him looking over his corner, giving him a thumbs up, telling him that he's not too worried about Chris Wade.
Ooh, big knees. Gotta watch the knees.
Another knee, 20 seconds left. Now down to 15. Chris Wade still searching for a takedown. Hammer fists and punches. Loik Radzhabov will just ride it out. He's celebrating, but is it premature? That's a close fight. Loik Radzhabov feels like he has it in the bag.
I give Raджабov the edge in this one. I think he won that fight. I feel like...
Our Cageonomics final fight stats. Loik Radzhabov more active in the striking, especially on the ground. Both men with a couple of takedowns here.
3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored the bout 30-27. For your winner by unanimous decision and advancing to the 2019 PFL World Championship in the lightweight division, Loik Radzhabov.
The second 7 seed of the night, moving on to a championship bout. Daniel Pineda did it at featherweight. Loik Radzhabov does it at lightweight. We'll have 2 1 versus 7 championship bouts on New Year's Eve.
Lucky number 7.
There's your final lightweight playoff bracket. Natan Schultz, Loik Radzhabov for a championship, the belt, and $1 billion on New Year's